One of our favorite guests, Leroy. We love talking boxing with this man, and he's got a different hat on now, man. Like he's been training like crazy. I see him with the legends. I see him with Klitschko, Evander Holyfield. He's working the comebacks, and what really sparked me this week was he was training one of our own down here from Miami, our guy Harold Calderon, the King. You guys have partnered up now. Like, how did this partnership come to be? You and Harold mixing it up and you training him.
Well, man, I'm a believer that, things happen organically sometime and, God just works in mysterious ways. But I was down there working with Holyfield and Klitschko down at the heavyweight factory, and I'm moving around Miami like I normally do. And I'm coming out of Walmart or something, and then we're dealing with this pandemic. Everybody got their mask and stuff on. It's hard to recognize anybody. But for some reason, I'm looking at this guy, and as closer I get to him, I'm recognizing, like, that's Harold Calderon, the King, right? So I'm like, man, what's up? And the first thing he say, man, where you been? I'm waiting on you. I'm ready. I said, you ready? I said, all right, well, this is what we're doing. And about 6-7 months ago, I formed my management team, Signature Punch. And we signed one of the brightest heavyweights in the game, a young guy by the name of Dunston, and Big Taz Cortez Dunston from Baltimore, tough streets of Baltimore, I might add.
Yep.
But he relocated to Tampa. And the first time I saw this guy, I knew something was special about him. So we signed him. He was our first signee. And then I run into Harold. And the reason why I know Harold so well is when I was training down there with my great trainer, Orlando Cuellar, he was also training Harold. I was bringing my son down. He was training with Harold, sparring with Harold. They were both getting in shape, getting great work. I always knew Harold was a special fighter. It's one of those things that, sometimes the great fighters, the good fighters, don't get the break or the opportunity they deserve because they're not in the clique or they're not in the know when it comes to the business of boxing.
Right.
So with that being said, I've been in the game some 22 years. I've had, a lot of success. I've had an opportunity to work with a lot of the networks, ESPN, Showtime, Fox. I've had some type of affiliation with practically all of them, from either working as a commentator or either fighting as a boxer. So using those relationships, I've been able to formulate my management team, who I believe is going to be, I think, one of the, best management companies in the business of boxing, because I know what these fighters need. I know what it takes. And I'm trying to give these fighters opportunities. And I know once they get the opportunities, their dream can come true just as well as mine came true. It's all about getting the opportunities. So those are the doors that I'm trying to break down. Open that floodgate and give these deserving guys the opportunity. And I think Harold, I believe, is the best kept secret in boxing right now, being that he's in the best weight class, the welterweight division, the old same weight class that Mayweather owned and dominated for years. Now you got guys like Bud Crawford, Errol Spence, and I think Harold Calderon's name should be mentioned in those lights. He's 22-0. He's with 15 knockouts, and without, the hype and without the press. He's done it the hard way, and I think he deserves the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to like a half dozen of Harold's fights down here. The guy packs every building that they have him on the marquee down here locally. An entire building, January. That's one of the hardest things to do on your own, Antonio, is just getting these local venues all filled up. So what do you think that secret sauce is to get them recognized? You were a guy who was heavily avoided a lot in your career. Wasn't the guy that everybody wanted to tape, southpaw. Nobody likes taking on the southpaws either, just like Harold is. So what do you think it is? Like, what is that thing that can help boxers take that next level, that secret sauce that makes them go from A to B, that next level?
Well, I want to definitely be the connector. And that's what I think is missing. I'm going to connect Harold with the people that I know can put him on that platform, and give him a fair shot of opportunity, where the deck isn't stacked, and he's not fighting uphill, so that's what we're going to do. We went out to Vegas just recently. I sat down with the money team, Floyd Mayweather. Harold was right there, and we ate dinner. and we talk business. And those are the type of connections that I'm trying to bring and to make a difference in these young guys' career. Let's go to the horse's mouth. The people that are making the things, making the game go. The people that are making things happen in boxing from a network standpoint. And that's all Harold's missing. The networks. That's all he needs. The backing.
Tarver, I want to ask you this, because you talk about not only training people, but managing them also. How hard is it, being a great fighter that you were, to take a young fighter and be able to train him, understanding he might not be able to do the things you did?
Well, you know what? I'm not asking him to do the things I did. I'm asking him to find the things that's within him. His story could be totally different than mine, and I'm not trying to duplicate anything I did because that's in the record books, you know what I mean? I'm trying to show the world that I can be instrumental in developing champions and stars in boxing. I think when you look at my mindset, the things that I had to overcome, I think that in itself speaks volume. And this is the type of confidence I'm trying to instill in anybody that I'm training. They have to believe in themselves wholeheartedly. It's not going to come easy. You shouldn't expect it to come easy. But if you get that opportunity, it only comes once in a lifetime. You got to cash in on it. I would love to see Harold on that stage against a Bud Crawford, against someone like an Errol Spence, so that on that one given night, he can show the world that they all slept on, I think, one of the best fighters in the world today. That's Harold Calderon. We're
talking to Antonio Tarver. Now, can you tell us about the connection that happened with you and Holyfield and Klitschko? Because that was, I saw, everybody was seeing the Evander comeback, and, people are pumped about all the legends kind of getting back into it. But I was like, hold on, who's that damn in the ring? Is that Tarver holding mitts for him? Is he getting him ready? So how did that connection come underway, and give us kind of the scoop of it, man. What is Evander thinking about with this comeback, and Klitschko too?
Well, I have to take my hat off to Evander Holyfield manager, Chris Lawrence. So if you are familiar with the boxing business in the Miami area, he's a real staple in that. He works with the Hard Rock. He's promoted some of the biggest shows down there, and we connected. And, all I wanted was an opportunity. Chris brought me in. Holyfield and I worked beautifully together. And realistically, I personally would never put anyone in harm's way. And that's not what we do as trainers, because we know this is a hurt business, and we know that people can get seriously hurt in this business. That's why four-time world heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield understands that, and he's getting his body in shape for whatever. But right now, he's just looking for an opportunity to do something great with a great fighter like Mike Tyson. You see Mike Tyson is back at it. Both of these guys are looking phenomenal. And it just shows you, man, that age is nothing but a number. And, we're about spirit, and we're about, that soul. And these guys are putting it all out there. I trained with Evander, and I'm telling you, man, I was impressed, because he did so much. And he just kept going. I mean, he still has desire. I'm like, wow. And I'm looking at myself. And I'm like, I'm a young 51. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he inspired me something. You know what I mean? I'm like, I never thought I'd be, like motivated to train again and do all that. But watching Evander Holyfield on the beach, running hills, lifting weights, putting it in. I had to look in the mirror like, man, hey, what are you doing? Like, I'm healthy and strong, but I'm really comfortable on the other side. But to be in Evander Holyfield's corner, a legend, living legend, it's just another, one of those feathers in my cap. And I'm excited, man. If we get that opportunity, I'm going to be right there for him.
Do you think that is like the A plan for both of these guys? Because everybody, like you said, everybody's seen the Tyson video. Everybody's coming for Tyson. Like that's everybody's, like, from John Bones Jones in MMA to bare knuckle fighting, offering him $20 million, to everybody wants to see the trilogy with Holyfield. Like, what do you think is A1? Like, is A1, you think, Evander Holyfield? What do you feel it's going to be?
You know what? I think, they deserve each other, because, it would be unrealistic to think that Mike Tyson could step in the ring with these young, big, strong, youthful guys today. But if, guys like Holyfield can get in shape and like Tyson can get in shape, who wouldn't want to see those guys, those legendary fighters, step back in there and give us a peep of what it was like back in the day, when, both of these guys really, really garnered all of boxing's attention. Mike Tyson, Holyfield. I mean, it was for about 10 years, they dominated the sport, just those two names alone.
Yep.
So, yeah, it would be great for them. And then, I don't think anyone would get hurt in an exhibition between two guys that are similar age, similar experience. They both been to the mountaintop. I mean, they'll give us a flash of what it was like back in the day, but I think both to be safe, to say that I don't think anybody can get hurt in that type of an exhibition. So I'm one that's all for that. Anything other than that, I don't know where the success rate could be when it comes down to our health. And that's just being 100. And I've always been open and honest about that.
Since you got the trainer's hat on, sticking with the current day heavyweight picture, Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, they're going to have their trilogy sometime at the end of the year. What did you make of the rematch? Because I was one where I thought, like, Deontay going into that second fight, he got him down twice in the first one. He only needs that small window. And he's had that success with that power so much. Obviously, it's easy to become reliant upon. Do you think he could find it within himself to get Tyson Fury down in the third fight, or did we just see another side of Tyson Fury to now he's not only outboxing him, now he's bullying him in the rematch? Like, do you think there's any window for Deontay to get him, or is this Tyson's show now?
I mean, everybody's entitled to make adjustments. That's why I personally don't like to watch films of anybody that I'm fighting, because the last time I watched a film was of Eric Harding, and I didn't think what I saw in that film that this guy could even compete with me. Well, lo and behold, I found out the hard way that not only could he compete, but he kind of gave it to me the first fight, broke my jaw and everything. Thank God for rematches. I was able to come back and vindicate myself. Now, I say rematch because the rematch has always already happened. When you look at boxing, over the years of boxing, the rematch really tells the tale of both fighters, because they've had a chance to be in the ring with each other. They know what to expect, but they go back to the drawing board and they have an opportunity to make and get everything right, the mistakes that they made, they get a chance to fix it. That rematch really showed, I think, who's the better fighter. I think he bullied him. He knew he could bully him because it was so easy to box him. So he took it another step further. Let me go ahead and see, can I just manhandle Deontay Wilder? And it worked. And now I think Deontay Wilder has to be honest with himself. I think that's the only way he can fix this, is be honest with himself. That's a hard thing to do when you got so many people around you that's being, and I'm not saying this is the case, dishonest, with at least not letting him or allowing him to truly look in the mirror from a trainer standpoint, a management standpoint, even from a promoter standpoint. Somebody has to be honest with Deontay Wilder, somebody that he respects. I told it like it was after the first fight. It looked like he was a fish out of water, like he never even had any experience in boxing. This is a guy that was a bronze medal in the Olympics. This is a guy that's a heavyweight champion, undefeated. And it looks like he didn't know the basic fundamentals of the game. So that's where Deontay Wilder is missing fundamentals. And all you need to do is sharpen up the basic fundamentals in order to work off of that and give yourself a chance. You got to be able to know that you can't back up standing tall. They teach that in the first week of boxing. Never lean back. And he's doing all of these, making all of these mistakes, and Tyson Fury is making him pay. I'm totally against the trilogy right now because I just don't think Wilder has that type of teacher in there that can speak his language and get through to this kid and let him understand that, man, power don't mean nothing if you can't land it effectively. It means nothing. So, with that being said, I think he has to get back to the drawing board. I offered my services. I said, hey, bring me in, man. You don't have to fire anyone. Just let me come in and give you the information that you need. They were told that no one called or nothing. And I told his manager before the rematch exactly what he would need going into that rematch. And I got the email that I sent him. I can show it to you on paper. Everything I said came true in the rematch. I haven't heard back from JD's. So that tells me right there, these guys are representing these fighters, but they're not putting their fighter giving their fighter the best chance to win. It don't make no sense to me, man. It really don't.
Before we get you out of here, it's like, how much are you enjoying this this role, the teaching thing? Like, I mean, we talked to you like when you were doing with your son's career, and I enjoy watching you guys on IG Live, your sessions. Like, how much is this new role? You got new guys coming in now, like having almost like a stable. Like, what's that like, and how much are you enjoying this part of your career?
Man, I'm enjoying it because, every time, what am I going to do with all this knowledge and experience that I got? I've been blessed to have some of the greatest trainers. Jimmy Williams, he trained me when I was 10 years old, taught me how to fight out of the triangle, explained to me how important defense is, and so then Buddy McGirt, one of the top trainers today, led me in my professional career. We knocked out Roy Jones together. Then Orlando Cuellar, who's trained several champions. All I'm saying is, I've had the fortunate ability to be trained by some of the best teachers in the game. And I'm a part of all those guys. And I have the communication skills to help these fighters. I don't need nothing, man. You ain't got to fire no trainer. Bring me in, let me work, and that's it. Let me give you the game plan, show you technically what you should be doing, how you should be doing it. You still got to fight the fight. I can't fight for you. But having the information and understanding is half of the problem. I mean, it's half of the solution. Understanding, knowing is half the battle. Basically is what I'm trying to say. And I feel like I know when it comes down to boxing. I don't know it all. I don't know it all. But through my experiences, through my trainers, I think I can touch on a little bit of everything when it comes to boxing. And the bottom line is to get out of the game with all your marbles, with all your faculties. That's success. When you've been in the game 22 years and you've never been cut, you've never been knocked out, come on, man, I must know something. I must be doing something right. And that's what I'm trying to pass on to the guys that's coming up behind me.
Well, looking forward to you with watching our guy Harold. We wish you guys nothing but success. We always appreciate time from the Magic Man. I
can't wait.
Hey, and I got to keep my golf club sharp, so I'm going to get back on the greens, man.
So I'm
come
coming.
Down there.
All right.
Antonio, thanks for the time.
Hey, guys, I appreciate you guys. And listen, continue to follow Harold, the King Calderon, man. We're going to make Miami special. He's Mr. 305 to me, man, and we behind him. We're going to get these lessons, and we're going to get these opportunities. I want to bring the next fight to Miami. I want to bring it national TV. That's what we're working on. So we're going to, we're going to blow it up, man. We ready.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, man. Y'all be good. God bless. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.